I'm Charlie from Rossmeyer, Daytona, Harley-Davidson. Congratulations on your purchase on your new 2014 Ultra Limited Harley-Davidson. What I'd like to do today is kind of go over some of the features and functions of the bike. Once the excitement's wore down, you're at home now or in the hotel, and you can finally sit down and try to figure out some of these things without flipping through the owner's manual, and we'll give you a little insight on that. We'll start off with the front of the bike. First and foremost, you have a little ventilation system here, which is the wind buffeting. This is put in by Harley-Davidson to eliminate some of that face buff, some of that wind buff. If you get in the rain, you need to shut off. It's a simple push of a button. Shuts it off. To open it back up again, simply push down. Let's run to the gauges. What we have on the gauges is the simple fuel gauge, your speedometer with your odometer, your tachometer, your voltage regulator. Voltage regulator, when you're up to speed, up the motor's running, you should run about 14 on that if you keep an eye on it. If it drops low and you have any problem, you'll get an indicator light or a warning light as well. On your speedometer, you'll see a little red light blinking. That's your security system blinking. That just lets you know that your security system is activated and armed. I'll go over that with you here in a little bit. On your odometer, trip meter, and so forth, they have moved, instead of having the normal push button, they've moved the button to the right top or the left top button on the controls. So it's right up here and it works with your left trigger finger. You'll have your odometer, you push it again, it'll be trip A. Push it another time, trip B. The third time will tell you how many miles till empty. You'll also have a fuel light that'll come on that'll tell you that you're running low on fuel, as well as the fuel gauge. And since you have the unit equipped with the 6.5 Infotainment Center with navigation and voice command, the unit will actually tell you you're low on fuel and find the nearest gas station for you. As well, with the if you get to trip A or trip B and you want to reset your trip meter, you just simply push and hold down on the button. It'll reset it the same as you would in any automobile or your old Harley-Davidson. On the left side of the control, since we're already over there, your horn button's still in the same location. You have a high beam, low beam indicator, which also on your low beam, if you tap it, it'll flash the headlights from high beam to low beam, which is a good warning for people that you're overtaking them or if someone's about to pull out in front of you, you can simply do a flash with them. Your left turn signal is located on the left as well, on the same toggle as the left turn signal, which, by the way, the turn signals are still self-canceling. You do not have to turn them off, but if you need to, you still can. On the same button, you'll have the voice recognition button, voice command button. So if you are wired in or Bluetoothed in with your headset and you need to tell the Infotainment Center either to navigate somewhere, play a certain song, answer the phone, all you do is push your command button. It will tell you to say the command, you say the command, and then it will operate accordingly. On the lower part, your little toggle switch. That's for the Infotainment Center. It has three purposes. Up and down is volume, left and right is channel. The center button, if you just simply push in on it, it is your home button. So if you're navigating through this stereo system, your Infotainment Center, and you get lost at any point in the stereo system, you just simply push the center and it'll bring you back to the home page and allow you to start over from there. They have this year on the 14, they've moved your cruise control button over to the left side of the control panel as well. To turn your cruise control on, you simply push in. You'll have a cruise light indicator up top, which will remain yellow. Once you're doing over 35 miles an hour, if you want to set the cruise, you simply tap down. Your cruise will be set. It's an electronic cruise control. You do not have to touch the throttle. It will maintain your speed, whether you're going up a hill, down a hill, however, it will maintain your speed. If you need to shut your cruise off, you can simply tap either brake or the clutch. It will automatically disengage, or you can push it on your cruise button and it'll disengage that way. The same as in a car or an old cruise, if you need to accelerate while you're maintaining a speed, simply tap up on the cruise button. Your speed will accelerate. Simply go down to decelerate. Move over to the right side. On the right side, we have a four-way flasher or your hazard button. It's now located on the top part of your control. When you turn it on, your hazard lights will come on. To turn them off, simply push it again. And one thing I want to remind you, if you'll notice on the right-hand switch, you have your ignition switch, your on and off run switch. We've had that issues on a couple of occasions where people go to turn their ignition off and they'll hit the four-way flasher. Then when you turn your main ignition off on the bike, the flashers are activated, but they will not turn off until you turn the ignition on. So if for some reason you walk away from the bike and your four-way flashers are flashing and continue to flash, simply come back, turn your ignition on, hit the hazards, and it'll turn it off. The right turn signal is located on the right control, self-canceling, same as the other. Now in the reconfiguration of the fairing, if you notice they eliminated the ambient air temperature as well as the oil pressure temperature. If you notice there's an I in the right turn signal, if you simply push that, you now have your air temperature and your oil pressure built into the screen. There's also the EITMS, which is basically tells you when your rear cylinder shuts off. The bike is equipped with a rear temperature sensor, so if it gets too hot, that rear cylinder will shut down and allow it to suck air if you're sitting at a stoplight or in heavy traffic, and allow that to cool down. If you want to go back to your home page, you just simply push the I. From that, it takes you right back to the stereo. If you're wired in and you're using your CB radio or your push to talk, your right side toggle switch is now your squelch up and down and your push to talk. So if you need to talk, you simply push in and talk. And that is through the wired in, which is located on the center console as it's always been. Moving over to the center, you have your ignition, your accessories, and you can lock the forks. On the left side is your running lights or your spotlights or passing lamps, whichever you want to preferably call them. This is your toggle switch for that. You have 5 other switches if you want to add any accessories. Harley has left you room for that. On the basic startup of the machine, I'm going to show you a couple simple features on it. When you turn the ignition on for the first time, you'll see the engine light come on. You need to let that engine light cycle through and turn off, and you'll hear the fuel pump whine. Once that is done, then you can hit the ignition switch to start the motorcycle. Be sure to let the ignition light go out, the little engine light on your dash, go out before you start the motor. You do not have to touch the fuel at all. Do not touch the gas, just simply touch the button. When the motorcycle starts, it'll rev up, let it sit there for a couple, 15, 30 seconds, let it idle back down, let the oil get circulated, you're good to go. As I said that, you're going to have a oil pressure light lit. That light will go out once you start the bike and the oil starts getting circulated through the motor. You have your neutral indicator light. You're also going to have a gear indicator now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gear will show up on the odometer telling you what gear you're in. You'll have a spotlight passing lamp indicator telling you that your passing lamps are on. Now keep in mind they only operate on low beam, they do not operate on high beam. And if you notice the little yellow light blinking, is your ABS light. The ABS light will blink until you start rolling and the sensor starts sending a signal to the computer. At that point, your ABS light will go out. With that being said, if you haven't ridden a motorcycle with ABS, it's going to be just like a car. If you're going down the road and you grab a handful of brake, you'll feel the pulsating in your hand or in your foot, but don't let off of it. The ABS is a fabulous safety additive, and it will allow you to stop quickly, way more safely, and not skid out or lock up the wheel. With this year's Model 2, we have what is called a Reflex Link ABS system. So if for some reason you're only grabbing the front brake or the rear brake, that's going to distribute the braking accordingly, and you're not going to have only front braking or only rear braking. It's going to distribute it equally and allow you time to get to where you take over the braking again. This year's fuel cap, there's no key. You simply push the button and open the fuel cap, go from there. On the left side of the hand grip, you have your heated grips, 1 through 6. You can turn those on and adjust the heat accordingly to where you would like it. I'm going to stay with the front of the machine and with the infotainment center, and then we'll move on to some of the other features of the bike. If you'll notice on the right side, a simple push button. You have a USB port. You have a place for your iPhone, your Android, any phone that you want to place in there. Now, this infotainment center is completely Bluetooth accessible. So you can set up your Bluetooth to your phone where your phone calls will come through the stereo, your text will come through the stereo, or you can Bluetooth your music through it, as well as an MP3 player or an iPod. On the stereo itself, as we discussed earlier, you have your home button, your volume is the right side. You can change your, just for a little bit of a sales pitch, even though you've already purchased it, the Infotainment Center this year has increased its volume capabilities by 25% and the distortion level is only 1%. So your stereo upgrade and your ability to hear it going down the road has been dramatically increased. So as you see the configuration of the stereo here on the screen, you're capable to operate this 3 different ways. 1, with the toggle switch located on the left and right of the controls. 2, by simple touch screen. 3, by voice command. If you have the voice command, you have to be plugged in or Bluetooth through a headset. If that's the case, again, you go back over to your left turn signal button where you see the little voice command button. You press it, it will then ask for the command, you give the command. So if we go back to the radio, you have a clock built in. You have the stereo, which tells you the name of the song, the station, so forth. Your presets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will also give you option for more. But if we go back to the tuner, if you want to set a preset station, you simply push and hold the button. It will set the preset to that station, just like you would in an automobile. Simply press and hold. If you go to your menu button, you'll see that there's a seek scan button on the top. The seek button, if you push in on your toggle switch on the left, it will then allow you to tune. So if you want to just tune channel by channel by channel, one little click at a time, you would leave it on tune. You push it again to presets. Every time you click your navigation button on the right to tune the channel, it'll take you to each preset. Push it again to seek. When you push your channel tune on the left, it will seek stations until it finds a station that it needs. You can also go from there to the audio and set up your audio. You can set up your bass, your treble, your fade speed volume. Your fade speed volume is simple. The faster you go, your speed volume is the faster you go, the louder the stereo gets, and you can fade your front to rear speakers back to the home screen. Again, if you get lost, you can push the home screen right here and it will take you. Tuner, your favorites. If you want to go into favorites to where you can actually set your favorite stations through this, you go into the communication system. If you have a CB, your intercom, or your phone, and you want to Bluetooth your phone through this, you go to the comm, hit the phone, Bluetooth. You can turn the Bluetooth on and off. If you want to pair a device, list your pair device, add a new device, make your phone Bluetooth accessible. They will pair, and then your phone is completely linked to this system. Again, remember, anytime you get lost, simply push home. It'll take you right back at it. The setup button, simply push the setup button. You can set your speaker headset volumes, front and rear. The audio setup, so you can, again, we did that, your bass, treble. Display, you can change the screen brightness. You can make it do it automatically for you, day or night. Button brightness the same, or the colors. You can change background colors to whatever you prefer. There's several colors listed in here. You can have it whatever color you would like, or have it into the automatic function. Take it back, again, to the home button. Now, the neatest feature that I think with this system is your navigation system. You have a complete navigation system listed on this bike. Same as a car, you'll have a plus, a minus, and then a little home screen over here. If you push the minus, you'll see it'll take you back. And right there you have the highway, have everything that you need on there. You can change your icons to a motorcycle. The possibilities are endless on this navigation system. You also have fuel indicators on here. When you become low on fuel, it will tell you that you're low on fuel, and the system will take you to the nearest fuel stop. If you'll notice a little icon over here on the right, if you place it, it'll have points of interest in here, your parents' trip summary. You can record your travels, all that. It also, if you have a present destination in and you want to cancel it, that was where you would go to cancel it. All right, the best thing that you can do, the advice I can give you is, do not try to learn all of this navigation system while you're going down the road or all at once. It's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to it, as it would anything. What I recommend is read your owner's manual real well. When you're riding the bike, enjoy the bike, or worry about the volume and so forth. Take the time. Get to know your bike. When you're sitting in your garage at night, you're sitting at the house, just come out, put on an accessory, play with that stereo, get to know that stereo system in a controlled environment when you're not moving down the road. It'll be a lot better and safer for you. All right, now that we've went over the Infotainment Center, which is probably completely overwhelming, but it's going to be fun once you get the hang of it. Let's go over some of the basics of the bike. At the bottom and the front on the lowers, you have a vent that you can open and close with a simple slide. You have that on both sides. Now, with the 2014 Limited, as you're well aware, this is a liquid-cooled motor. So you've lost your storage space here. However, your reservoir for your overflow for your antifreeze is based inside the compartment. And right here is where your reservoir fill is, and you can check that right there. Your radiators and your fans located in there. You shouldn't have any problems with this. You have eliminated your storage. The one thing that you're limited is equipped with is a security key fob recognition system. With this key fob recognition system, you simply carry the key fob with you at all times. It is specific for your motorcycle. So the moment you walk away from your motorcycle, it activates and disengages the ignition on the bike. So no one can come up, turn the ignition on the motorcycle, and ride off. There's a security bypass that you can have that is in your owner's manual that you can set for this motorcycle. So you have a secret pin. So if you're out riding around and you happen to lose your key fob, there's a sequence that you can go through to set your personal code. You can go into that and bypass that, as well as a traveling mode. I would also recommend that you carry a spare battery for your key fob, carry it in your tour pack, carry it in your saddlebag somewhere, so if you are out and the battery would happen to go dead, all you have to do is pop a new battery in, but you can still override it. In your manual, it has all explanation of that, as well as there's a little card in the back of your manual that I recommend you take out, write down your secret code, put it in your wallet and carry it, because it has the instructions of how to go and bypass all that. Now, even though you have a security system, I still highly recommend that you lock your ignition when you leave. You simply turn your handlebars all the way to the left, turn the ignition all the way to the left, and you can lock it with the key. Your keys will lock your saddlebag and your tour pack as well. Same key will fit both of those. But as I said, if you do not lock the ignition with a security fob, you do not need to take the fob off. You just simply walk up, it'll recognize, turn the key on, and you can run off on the bike. You check your oil down here with the dipstick while the motorcycle is on its side stand. You don't need to stand it up. You check the oil, pull it out, notice that it's fine, put it back in. The next to another is your transmission level. You're probably not going to have the transmission level. If it's not leaking, there's really nowhere it can go. You're going to be fine there. And your regular maintenance will come into play with that as well. As you already know, one-hand operation on your saddlebags. If you need to take your saddlebags off for cleaning, the two little safety pins that are inside the saddlebag, you simply twist and pull, and they come right out, and they go right back in the same way. The only thing I will tell you is when you're taking those off, remember when you disconnect both of them, your saddlebag's now free, so hang on to it so you don't drop it on the ground. Again, you can lock your saddlebag with your key right here, lock your tour pack with the key right here. Simple one-hand operation. It will go up. You do have a 12-volt charger in the trunk of the tour pack, so you can plug in a cell phone, charge something, anything that you would need. Your bike does come with one of the headsets for your motorcycle. If you bought a new 2014, this is the headset that will plug in to your motorcycle. If you have a passenger, it'll plug into the opposite side. And with that said, the passenger's control for the volume, push to talk, squelch, is located right here, right at her fingertips, or his fingertips, whoever it might be. Your bike comes with 2 saddlebag luggage carriers and 1 for the trunk. You simply fill these up with luggage, place them down in your saddlebag, you get to your destination, pull them out, you're ready to go. Something I recommend too, if you're not familiar with an ABS motorcycle, Harley-Davidson has provided you with a ABS system anti-lock brake DVD. It's a good DVD and really shows you how well ABS performs. In your owner's manual, you have your owner's manual, your boom audio, everything's right there. Please go through this, read it, it's good reading, and it'll help you find a couple of little pinpoints that you didn't realize about your motorcycle that you've overlooked. The bike will also have a toolkit provided by Harley. It's placed in the back tour pack as well. Okay, we're back on the left side of the motorcycle. If you remember, this is the plug-in for the passenger's headset unit. They need to plug it in when you get the plug-in if you're not going wireless. The other thing I want to point out to you, this bike is equipped with an air shock. However, it's a manual air shock. It's not one by push of the button. The adjustment is located right here at the front pin. It's on a little valve, just like it would be a tire valve. Do not, under any circumstances, use an air hose on this. You need to use a manual hand pump. You can take a tire gauge or an air pressure gauge. Harley-Davidson sells a real nice hand pump that has a gauge built right into it. You can adjust the ride of your motorcycle accordingly to the weight that you're carrying, the passenger that you're carrying, or yourself. In your manual, it'll have actually a breakdown of how many pounds you should be running per your passenger, per your weight, or per the load that you're carrying. So what I'd recommend is check that out in the book. Even if you're going on a trip or just your average rider, get you the nice little hand pump that Harley-Davidson sells, then you can adjust that. Again, do not use an air compressor because you'll blow the seals in that. I recommend that you check the air pressure in those shocks every couple of weeks, a month, just as you would on your tires, because you know it is air and it will leak out. With that being said, on the tires, we want to run 36 pounds of air in the front tire, 40 pounds in the rear. I highly recommend that you check your air pressure in your tires frequently. It saves on fuel economy and also on the wear and tear of the tires. We want you to run 93 plus octane in the fuel. The higher the octane, the better this bike is going to perform for you. Your first oil change is due at 1,000 miles. At 1,000 miles, at that point, you can then switch over to synthetic if you desire. Then your second oil change is at 5,000 miles, and then every 5,000 thereafter. So breaking it down again, the first oil change is at 1,000, the second oil change is at 5,000, and then 10,000, 15, and so forth. During the first few miles, first 500 miles more importantly, remember that number one, you've got brand new rubber on this bike, so it's going to have that silicone coating. You need to really make sure, take time to get the entire scuffed up. Same with your brakes. The brand new brakes, we want to make sure these brakes have a little bit of friction to them, get them broken. So really be careful those first couple miles on this motorcycle. You want to keep in mind too, it's a brand new engine. Don't lug it down real low. Keep the RPMs in an equal place, yet don't take it up over 3,200 RPMs. For the first 500 miles, just kind of gently baby, if no else, this motorcycle. Keep your RPMs not too low, don't lug it down to where it's grunting, and don't take the RPMs up too high. After the 500 miles, run the motorcycle like you're going to ride it. Keep an eye on it. 1,000 miles, bring it into your Harley-Davidson dealership and we'll service it, put fresh oil in it, and you'll be ready to go. If you have any questions, give us a call anytime here at Bruce Rossmeyer, Daytona Harley-Davidson. Our service department would be glad to help you. And we want to thank you for purchasing your bike with us here at Bruce Rossmeyer, Daytona Harley-Davidson.